So welcome to this Center for Conscious Living. It's Sunday, April 19th, 2020. And I'm just extending open arms to everybody as you join us in this Sunday celebration.
I open up my heart to the universe, accepting love, accepting peace. I open up my heart to the universe, accepting love, accepting peace. So we'll pray a little stronger and we'll stay a little longer until there's nothing left but God. I open up my heart, I open up my mind, I open up my heart, and I raise them to the sky. I open up my heart, I open up my mind, I open up my arms, and I raise them to the sky. I open up my heart, I open up my mind, I open up my arms, and I raise them to the sky. I open up my heart, I open up my heart, I open up my heart.
And if you repeat after me, I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and healing. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy. And so it is. Welcome again. If you're just joining us, this is the Center for Conscious Living. I'm Dr. Carol Lawson, and we are delighted that you're with us. Reverend Al Bennett is our first practitioner today, and he will do our opening invocation. Reverend Al?
Good morning. It's such an honor to be here. I haven't been here for a while, and I'm so grateful to be back. This is a new experience for me. Sunday mornings, as a young person, the big treat would be to listen to the radio. So this is a reversion back to being on an instrument that provides us with knowing and yet not being physically with. So it's a great honor that I'm here to spend this day, this afternoon, this morning with you. In my heart, I am so grateful. One of the things I'd like to bring up is that I just found out that Earth Day is April the 22nd, I think it is. April the 22nd, that Earth Day has significance for me because I'm so closely connected with Mother Earth. I can only pray that as we move forward, that our connection with Mother Earth becomes more symbiotic, and that it is one that is recognized and lived in consciousness for all of us. I was doing some research on some things to just briefly speak about in this gathering today regarding Mother Earth. I have a quote here and I'm going to let you try to guess who it is. The quote is, "Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better." That was by Albert Einstein. So Albert did some studying on nature as well. So it's with deep gratitude that I'm here, so that we can not only experience our gathering here today in our hearts and in our minds, but also the experience of being together in a physical location where we are both, all of us, are gathering here with our love and heart.
Look up.
So I'm opening this gathering with deep love and appreciation for your presence. And I am honored to be here as I sit here with you, not physically, but in consciousness and in heart. Let us know that this activity today is a gathering of joy and peace, and knowing that our Creator is seeing to it that we are being healed and cared for in this time of extreme stress, that in our prayers we are seeing that the activity of this change is becoming gentler and easier than we had expected. And it is all because of the consciousness and the prayers that have been put out to open this activity into a greater place. So I know that the activity of today, of this gathering, is one of perfection, that our beloved Reverend Carol is here with heart, love, and joy, and gratitude. And I'm inspired by Lou, who is doing the music. And it's with gratitude that I can listen to his voice and feel, my God, there we are. We can do it. So it's been a great experience for me to do this for the first time. So it's with gratitude that I open this gathering here today. In deep gratitude, I say, and so it is. Amen.
So it is. Thank you, Al. This beautiful gathering of souls.
We've come together here, this gathering of souls, to recognize the light within us, to see each other whole. Stand in the fire with each other as we face our fears, raise each other's consciousness and dry each other's tears. Lost, then found together, we become grounded together. We are bound together here in God. Here in God, we've come together here, this gathering of souls, to praise God together, to see each other whole. And if you've joined us for the first time, we see the light within you, recognize the God within you. welcome home.
Thank you, Lou. Beautiful. And I'll ask Reverend Al then to do our inspirational reading.
Thank you, Reverend Carol. The reading today is from 365 Science of Mind, page 175. It's titled, Right Action is Operating in My Life Now. Right action means that everything legitimate and constructive purpose I have in mind will successfully be executed. It means that I will know what to do, how to think, how to act, how to proceed. I definitely declare that since my word is in accord with the divine nature, it actually is the law of God in my experience enforcing itself. Hence, there is nothing in me or around me that can limit this word. The power of this law is with me, and the action that results from this power produces harmony, peace, joy, and success. I know that in this consciousness of reality is the supply for my every need, physical, mental, or spiritual, and I accept that supply in deepest gratitude. I am thankful for this way of life fulfills my needs through perfect law. I come to this great fountain of supply in the very center of my being to absorb that for which I have need mentally and physically, and I am filled with a sense of the reality of that which I desire. As I am filled with reality, I permit it to flow into my world of thought and action, knowing that it brings peace and harmony and order all around me. This arises within me limitless faith in the unconquerable presence, the perfect law, and divine action.
And if you look into your chat box, you'll see the affirmation which Al will lead us in.
Oh, thank you. Let me turn my page here.
It gives everybody time to find the chat.
This is the effort. Yeah. One of the things I'd like to bring out is that this experience that we're having today, I read a short poem by William Blake, who was well known in his time of the 1700s. But to the eyes of the man of imagination, nature is imagination itself. As a man is, so he sees. As the eye is formed, such are its powers. This is by William Blake. So our nature of our imagination is so powerful. And the affirmation is, and I'm not sure what to do with this.
You just read it.
Okay.
Just read it.
All right, I know that everyone's supposed to be reading it along with me, but I don't know if you have it.
They will, you just won't hear them, Al. I'll
Okay.
speak for everybody.
Okay. Okay, the affirmation is, I am in touch with the divine
through the
beauty
I see in
nature. Every day I feel the wind fill my lungs.
I feel
the water bring life to every cell of my being. I feel warm sunshine on my face. Today I care for the earth by
Earth,
recognizing its miraculous nature
and
and mine. Okay,
thank you. Thank you.
thank you. What do I do next? I'm finished.
Yeah, you pray for us.
All you have to do is pray.
So, welcome again. Thank you, Al. It is the 50th anniversary this next Wednesday, April 22nd of Earth Day. So I've got a quote too, this from Jane Goodall, who I met at the Parliament of World Religions, not the last one, but the one before that in Salt Lake City. An amazing woman. She says, you cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of a difference you want to make. Again, something that we can all ponder as we're having this time together. And now, more than ever, it feels so true. It's like everything is heightened, everything is more intense, it's more difficult. And we get to ask ourselves, you know, how do we want to live? And I read somewhere this beautiful, how about this question from Mother Earth, from Pachamama, and do you want to live with me? We seem to be at a crossroads, a choice point. Things are breaking down. We have an opportunity to transition into a new story. And one of the questions perhaps is, do we believe the earth is alive? Is the earth sacred? Certainly what indigenous peoples have been sharing forever. But we're getting a chance to think about it as well now in this time of sheltering in place, as it were. More than ever, I think we're getting that message loud and clear. We can't survive without nature. On a very practical level, I'm finding that taking a walk is a saving grace for me and for so many people when everybody's in lockdown, to be able to get outside a little. And some cities where in the world where you're not allowed to go outside, even, the people are swinging open the windows and inhaling the fresh air. So much fresher now because there isn't all the car exhaust. Fresher than it's been in many decades. In India and China, record levels of air pollution and smog are down. You can breathe more freely. Yeah, I know that all of you know this. In Europe, scientists are recording lower levels of toxic fumes. Are these changes permanent, or do we revert to the old levels? Remains to be seen, and it depends entirely on the decisions and the actions of humanity moving forward. I brought a preamble to the Earth Charter that, as a church community, we said and have been involved in and done ceremonies and different things for Earth Days for some time. This we did 15 years ago, 2005. We read this, and I'm sad. I feel the crossroads in me as well. I'm saddened by you'll hear when you read it, didn't feel like much has changed. And then I'm heartened because while there hasn't been all that much change in 15 years, there's been incredible change now in 3 months. We would never have been able to envision all this happening. So this is the preamble to the Earth Charter. We stand at a critical moment in Earth's history, a time when humanity must choose its future. As the world becomes increasingly interdependent and fragile, just feel how that feels now, given these last few months. The future at once holds great peril and great promise. To move forward, we must recognize that in the midst of a magnificent diversity of cultures and life forms, we are one human family and one Earth community with a common destiny. We must join together to bring forth a sustainable global society founded on respect for nature, universal human rights, economic justice, and a culture of peace. Towards this end, it is imperative that we, the peoples of Earth, declare our responsibility to one another, to the greater community of life, and to future generations. This is our sacred trust. So I invite you now to be a part of an Earth Day celebration. Some years we've had people come up on a stage or say a piece, light a candle, given the beautiful field that we're in, but not together. I'm going to say this for us. And I think, let's look at the chat. Are you able to bring up the responses to that, Paul or Marlene?
No, I have not. I apologize.
Okay. Well, then I'll tell you.
It's there. I just put it up.
Thank you. So, for the earth, I speak this word for our bountiful Mother Earth, Gaia, who nourishes us, sustains us, and supplies us with all we need, honoring all living things on earth. And the response?
I honor the earth.
Air. I speak this word to honor the air we breathe and the beautiful atmosphere that surrounds our planet Earth and makes life possible. And you can all say with Marlene this response.
I honor the air.
Fire. Which I just pause wherever you are and really feel this as we bring in all of the elements and this connection. I speak this word to honor and respect fire, both the physical flame and the divine flame within each of us, the fire that is necessary to burn away the old and feed the new.
I honor fire and the divine flame within myself.
And water. I speak this word to deepen our awareness that we live on a water planet, to recognize that the health of our living waters is our health, and to be mindful of the living ecosystems in water.
I honor the waters of our earth.
The people. I speak this word to recognize our oneness with all people of the world. There is no they. We are one regardless of race, color, creed, religion, gender orientation, politics, or opinion.
I honor a deeper experience of oneness.
Love. I speak this word to celebrate divine love, which expresses as all the manifest universe, especially as our families of origin, our spiritual families, friends, animals, and nature.
I honor all people, places, and things as love in form.
Conscious evolution. I speak this word to celebrate our willingness to change and embody a higher level of compassion and consciously co-create a world that works for everyone.
I honor my willingness to be the change I want to see in the world.
Thank you. Thank you. And so this Mother Earth Day, reconnect with her. I'm finding this need to walk outside as part of my learning self-care. Go out into your gardens or take a walk, find a tree, or you could simply gaze at your houseplants if you want. Marvel at the magnificent blessings of nature. I brought this quote from Clarissa Pinkola Estes. It says, anything you do from the soulful self will help lighten the burdens of the world. Anything. You have no idea what the smallest word, the tiniest generosity can cause to be set in motion. Be outrageous in generosity. Be outrageous in forgiving. Be dramatic in reconciling. Be off the charts in kindness. In whatever you are called to, strive to be devoted to it in all aspects, large and small. Fall short? Try again. Mastery is in increments, not in leaps. Tiny steps, baby steps. Be brave, be fierce, be visionary. Mend the parts of the world that are within your reach. Let that sink in. Mend the parts of the world that are within your reach. To live this way is the most dramatic gift that you can give to the world. I found just a one line from Bernie Siegel, so it must have been many, many years ago, that says, pick 2 people a day and make them feel more loved. Just offering a little seed, putting out there. If you're wondering what to do, how about that? There's a radical practice that I think as we deepen and evolve, we're being called to, of loving everyone. Paul Zelig, who talk about from time to time, who's a keynote speaker at the Anton conference in the fall, says you don't transform something by damning it. You transform it by bringing it into the light. Mary Reed was here in February who talked about everything. Everything is love. We're not cutting out anything. So I'm offering today the invitation to practice the radical practice of loving everyone, or of just being kind. Kindness as a way of life. Kind to yourself. This is the part I'm working on. Kind to others. Kind to the planet. It fits in. And I brought a story about a man named Michael Chase, who had an epiphany and started a kindness movement, a big kindness center years ago. But this is the source of the motto: be kind to yourself, kind to others, kind to the planet, and make it your own personal tool for creating world peace. He talks about this epiphany that he had. Buddha found his epiphany under the Bodhi tree, Nelson Mandela in prison, Ram Dass, he says, through psychedelic drugs. Little did I know, he writes, mine would arrive in the form of a hard-shelled reptile, simply trying to cross the road, a turtle. But this wasn't just any turtle. This was the world's most optimistic one. He was tenaciously determined to cross 20 feet of tar as cars zoomed by at 55 miles an hour. But today was his lucky day. My wife's quick reflexes not only ensured that turtle soup would not be for dinner, but her act of kindness would eventually become the foundation for everything that I teach today, he says. As unusual as it sounds, a simple act of pulling our car over, removing this little turtle from harm's way and placing him back into the wild caused something extraordinary to happen inside me. Remembering when we first moved here from California, where we had California desert tortoises, and I saw a turtle in the street here and went to do it, and people screamed, wait, that's a snapping turtle, you do it differently. So be aware of what kind of turtle it is. But as he moved him out of harm's way. He says, as I stood there holding this tiny creature in my hands, a wave of pure joy came over me. It was that warm, teary-eyed sensation that we feel during life's greatest moments, like falling in love or the birth of a child. I honestly felt in my heart as if my heart was completely opening up, as if everything stood still around me. In no way would I have described it as enlightenment, but there was no doubt about it. Helping this little turtle just felt so darn good. But why? After all, it was just a turtle, right? And then it hit me. I realized what was happening. At this point, a flood of inspiration surged through me I walked back to the car, opened my journal, and wrote 8 words that would later prove to be life-changing for me. Kindness creates happiness, and live a life of kindness. That was the answer that he'd been looking for, this secret to inner peace. And eventually he did change everything that he was doing in his life and set up this kindness center. He says, not just random acts of kindness as we do, back in the day, like 3 months ago, paying for somebody going through the toll booth behind you or something. He says, not just that, but rather kindness is a way of life. He said, I'd already known the benefits of kindness through studying many Eastern philosophies, but I'd never considered it as a lifestyle. Kindness, however, contains a transformative energy. Maybe you've experienced acts of kindness. I have, of people bringing me food or asking if could they buy something at the store for me. They were on the way. Just heartwarming things that have happened. And you may have experienced or been involved in some of those as well. Gandhi says the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in service to others. If you're sheltered at home, it may take a minute or some time to figure out what that service might be, but there's a way to be kind to yourself, to others, to the planet. You can't hug somebody in this Zoom way, and maybe you're happy about that, or maybe you're missing it. But when we do something like that, the brain delivers this peptide hormone, oxytocin. And when that's secreted in your system, empathy and compassion, that ability is increased. So he talks of, Michael Chase goes on, 30 minutes after my epiphany, my wife and I arrived at our original destination, a country garden show. So walked around for a few minutes, and a gentle, older-looking man waved me to the front porch of his farmhouse for no apparent reason. He says the setting was like a scene in an old movie, a weathered rocking chair, the smell of cookies baking, and a coon cat looking as old as the farmhouse itself. He says, let her look around and come and sit with me, he said. I had no idea what to expect, but as I sunk into the large wicker chair, I couldn't help feeling that he was going to say something profound. After all, if a turtle can change my life, why not a wise old farmer? So they had a brief hello and introduction, and they just sat for a long time. And finally, the farmer spoke and said, I've often thought that the meaning of life is making things a little bit easier for those around us. What do you think? I said, I was speechless. Felt like I'd just been hit on the head again with life's big karma stick. And then he went on to tell me about his version of the secrets of life, how true happiness can only be found by loving and serving others. And he says, don't forget, you got to love the one you're with, yourself. So in the days and weeks and follows, Chase goes on, he says, the world looks completely different. I kept studying and testing my kindness creates happiness theory. I was blown away by its life-changing power. It is a time that many of us are desperately needing that feeling. There are all kinds of difficulties and grief and depression and all kinds of emotions surfacing. It's important. This may be a lifeline, finding someone to be kind to. Just asking, am I being kind? This one simple question changed his life. Maybe it would change somebody else's, one of ours, if we ask it. Am I being kind? So he says, whenever I feel the need to disagree with my wife, lash out at a rude employee in the mall, or even before I shove 10 cookies in my mouth, I go within and ask, am I being kind? These 4 little words have become my source to inner peace. We've often quoted the Dalai Lama, who says, my religion is kindness. It's a mantra for co-creating a world that we love. Am I being kind addresses every situation you find yourself in, I think, no matter what's going on. Am I being kind? It can create a better world immediately. Just asking. We're having that irresistible urge to do spontaneous acts of kindness, like banging the pots for our hospital employees, make a shift change at 7 p.m. Each act of kindness, Chase says, felt like a blissful surge of energy through my chest, that oxytocin. But what became even more exhilarating were the intense feelings of warmth toward everyone around me, especially difficult people. Just realizing if somebody acted rude or rather than feeling anxious or offended, I just wished for their happiness. That's what I realized what it meant to be truly living kindness. Kindness is what happens when we act in service to another, begin to realize that there is no other. Am I being kind? Just asking that one simple question can change our life. Paul Zelig, at the end of a channeling he did on peace just a few weeks ago, early April. Behold, I make all things new. It's one of the mantras and attunements he's using. He says, the time has come to move beyond the old. Start to claim your inheritance, your true inheritance, which we've always said is the kingdom. Realization of the divine that is in all things. We've talked about this in many ways, in different words, all the time. He says, what you deny, or when you deny the holiness in you, you put it in darkness. What you put in darkness comes back at you in that way. The light is here now. It's dissembling structures all over the place. You can see it. There's a call to great change. You will survive. Humanity has made this choice to lift itself beyond fear, to see all things as new. I've said this before too, the denial of God is the only real problem humanity has, he says. Everything is in fear. Every grievance you hold against your brother, it's always the same. It's fear. And you transform that fear. We can transform that fear by lifting it to a higher plane. We become, and this is still Zelig, highly adept at criticizing your brother. What if you look at the landscape before you and see it in a new way? Lift it to the upper room. We call that, holding this high watch, holding it in consciousness in a higher resonance. See everything as an expression of the divine. We say, I know who I am in truth. That's what we're talking about. The truth of this divinity, this love, this kindness, this cherishing awareness, Mary Reed calls it. It is right here and right now within each and all of us. The path is being revealed one step at a time. It's beyond what we can believe. You are loved beyond knowing. You are loved beyond what you can conceive of. As we deepen into this awareness, this recognition, this remembering, we become portals into that higher consciousness. We align with or agree, move into vibrational accord is a word that Zelig uses a lot. Accord as in C-H-O-R-D, music, and accord, A-C-C-O-R-D, in alignment, in allowance. I am free, I am free, I am free. It's always true, he says. It's just letting go of old patterns. You don't transform something by damning it. You transform it by bringing it into the light. Love them anyway, whatever it is, whoever it is. This is a quote from Zelig again. I found it on Mary Reed's Facebook page. So the gift of the times you sit in, humanity at a crossroads, is the gift of the unknown, the unseen, the unprepared for. Doesn't that ring true? How can I prepare for a future when all I have trusted and believed in seems to be falling away? It's a question I'm sure many of us have asked in some form. He says, you do not prepare. You say yes to the uncertain moment. You agree that the path before you will be lit as you walk it, and not a moment before. And you love the one before you, even if that is painful or a challenge to what you would have wanted as a small self that you were. We are being asked to raise up in consciousness. Behold, I make all things new. It is this alignment with the divine that makes all things new. We are looking at the unknown. Can we live with respect for our Mother Earth, for Pachamama? Can we be kind to ourselves, to each other, to the planet? Can we transform our world not by condemning it, but by bringing everything into the light, by being the love that we truly are? I don't have the answers to those questions, but I'm willing to practice being kinder to myself, which I'm having to learn, to others, which I have done, to the planet. And I'm curious to see what happens. Would you join me in that curiosity, in that knowing that our path is lit as we take this step? So let's just spend a moment in prayer. As we just deepen first into our hearts and then into this one heart, this heart of God, this limitless love, this cherishing awareness, this infinite, abundant creativity and joy, this awareness of love itself. This is the truth of who and what we are. And I speak this word for everyone here in this gathering, everyone who hears these words, for all those that we pray for, for everyone that feels they don't have anyone to pray for them. For I know that within the mind of God, in this one source, there is only love. There is a perfection beyond all human understanding, and that peace, that power that has created galaxies and worlds, and each cell in our body is absolutely filling us in this moment. Every cell of our physical body, our emotional body, our intellectual body, and beyond. As we are permeated with this cherishing awareness, this opening to this limitless love, this non-judgmental, this absolute peace, this power, this presence of God, that is the truth of our being. We are blessed, and we know that we are sustained and supported, and we take that next step. We take that next step in kindness, kindness to ourselves, loving awareness of self, kindness to others, deepening into this realization that there is no other, there is only this love everywhere. And to this beautiful planet upon which we are spending this time. Giving thanks in this waterfall of grace, letting it all be transformed as we see with new eyes and bring it into the light. And so it is. Amen. So thank you. It's time for our offertory. I think Marlene or Paul, somebody is doing our offertory. We'll put up in the chat some, if you'd like to make a contribution to the Center for Conscious Living, why there are a number of ways to do it. You can send us a check, you'll see, or Venmo or PayPal. I don't actually see it, but I'm sure somebody will put it up in the chat soon. Who's doing the offertory?
I am. If ever the offertory blessing is in the chat, if you'd like to join with me in reading the offertory blessing. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine
It's mine to share.
I bless this gift and give it
to thee
in
gratitude and joy,
knowing that as I
as
give,
I give,
I
I
do.
do receive.
This moment comes, this moment goes. I am awareness, this one who knows. Be still my heart, be still my body, be still my mind. I sit in stillness, my mind at rest. I feel such beauty here inside my breast. Be still my heart, be still my body, be still my mind. Beyond all time, beyond all space, beyond all care, there's a good that knows no opposite. I'll meet you there. And when I leave this mortal plane, I know I'm coming home again. Be still my heart, be still my body, be still my mind. Be still my heart, be still my body, be still my mind. Be still my heart, be still my body, still my mind.
Thank you, Lou. That stillness, that calm is so essential. Find time to be that still. They can probably get your CDs, right? Amazon or Watchfire Music. So we have a new visitor blessing. If you're with us for the first time, why, welcome. We're delighted that you're here. If you'd like to be on our mail list, why, you can see in the chat, send your name and email address to CCL in Morristown at AOL, and we'd be delighted to put you on the list. But as we've been doing this, this is, I guess, the 6th week now in this resonant field of love that includes so many more people, people that have moved away, that are coming back, and new people finding us. We are asking each person to join us in this welcome as we share our love with the world. So I invite you to hold your hands out in blessing and repeat after me. Welcome to this Center for Conscious Living. We are a heart-centered spiritual community, and we open ourselves to you in love. We recognize the perfection of God within you. We celebrate the joyous being that you are. You are a radiant point of light, and we are blessed by your presence. Welcome home. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Delightful. I think that I'm going to just share a few announcements, and then I think Marty and June have a few concluding quotes for Earth Day that they'd like to share as well. So I'm just wanting you to be aware, take a look at our Facebook page, both Center for Conscious Living, and there's also a group page where individuals put up some of the things that they're doing, which is Center for Conscious Living, CCL. And your announcements and Zoom meetings and things like that, you can find in there. We do have a class starting. There's Marlene waving. It's the 4 Agreements, a beautiful book by Don Miguel Ruiz that's starting this Wednesday, right? April 22nd on Zoom. So send your information to CCL in Morristown at AOL if you'd like to join Marlene and the class. All of the information was in our newsletter that went out, I don't know, Friday night, I think, and probably again this morning. But let us know if you'd like to take those 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. That would help these days. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. A beautiful time to be exploring the wonderful thing. Also, April 18th, I think that was this just happened. But Reverend Carrie Christensen is doing an additional Course in Miracles group on Saturdays from 9 to 11. We have as well it's interesting, it's pretty fascinating. I don't have the regular, okay. Ken Davis, KenDavisCoaching.com has a Course in Miracles meeting the 2nd and 4th Mondays. Tomorrow night, the 3rd Monday of the month, the men's group will meet. Again, you can see Paul Hoyt, connect with Paul Hoyt or CCL in Morristown, and we'll send you the Zoom information on that. The Red Tent, the women's group, will be on Saturday, May 2nd. And this coming Tuesday or week? Well, stay tuned. We'll let you know. But Reverend Sue Locke is going to have might be fine to do it this Tuesday. I think we have enough time. We'll tell everybody. Keep calm and connect. So at noon for an hour or so on Tuesdays, she's going to just have a space where you can come, and she'll offer some prayers and some good practices for being calm and being empowered, and people that would like to just connect. Keep calm and connect can do that. Also, Mary Reed has offered her beautiful meditation course, a 4-week meditation course that you take at your own pace whenever your time fits, Divine 444. And that link is in our newsletter, and that's free until the end of this month. And then if you look in the newsletter, Marty and June have offered several things that are happening today around Earth Day and on Wednesday, an all-day Earth Summit conference that they have. Marty and June, are you here with a quote for us as well?
Yes, we are. Thank you, Reverend Carol. That is just beautiful. What we'd like to share with you today, not only is it the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, but it's the 5th anniversary of our Pope Francis, not our Pope, well, he's all our people, everybody's Pope, the encyclical for the Earth. It was called Laudato Si', and it is on care of our common home. And he concluded this absolutely magnificent document with a prayer. We'd like to read that prayer if you would listen.
Thank you.
All-powerful God, you are present in the whole universe and in the smallest of your creatures. You embrace with your tenderness all that exists. Pour out upon us the power of your love, that we may protect life and beauty. Fill us with peace, that may we live as brothers and sisters, harming no one. O God of the poor, help us to rescue the abandoned and forgotten of this earth, so precious in your eyes.
Bring healing to our lives, that we may protect the world and not prey on it, that we may sow beauty, not pollution and destruction. Touch the hearts of those who look only for gain at the expense of the poor and the earth. Teach us to discover the worth of each thing, to be filled with awe and contemplation, to recognize that we are profoundly united with every creature as we journey towards your infinite light. We thank you for being with us each day. Encourage us, we pray, in our struggle for justice, love, and peace. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you. Marty and
I'd like
June.
There's one more quick poem that I would like to, it's actually another prayer. So this has been on the hearts and the minds of wise people for many thousands of years. So here's part of a traditional ancient Navajo prayer. If you'd like to close your eyes for just a moment and take this in and visualize, that would be lovely. Take a breath, everybody. As I walk with beauty, as I walk, the universe is walking with me. In beauty, it walks beside me. In beauty, it walks before me. In beauty, it walks behind me. In beauty, it walks below me. In beauty, it walks above me. Beauty is on every side. So it is.
So it is. Thank you. And now, Mr. Lou Doty, can we see your beautifulness? Yeah.
Here I am, beautiful as always. God is all there is. All there is God. Raise a voice in devotion. All there is God. God is all there is. Love is all there is. All there is love. Raise my arms, I adore you. All there is love. All I need is God. God is all I need. Raise a voice in devotion. Raise my arms, I adore you. Give my life, I surrender. All I need is God. God is all there is. God is all there is.
Thank you for singing the truth, these beautiful original songs, Lou. And Reverend Al.
All right, concluding affirmation. If you will repeat after me, I'll pause after each of my readings and you can repeat it. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in all my feelings.
Life is in all my feelings.
Life is in all my activities.
Life is in all my activities.
I receive it.
I receive it.
I share it.
I share it.
I am it.
I am it.
And I accept it.
And I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
And accepting all of these gifts, we say, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Blessings and love. I will unmute you and you can.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you,
everyone.
Love you all.
Love you. See your faces.
And Lou.
Wonderful
See
day.
you.
That's everyone.
Hi, Reverend
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, be in peace.
Love you all.
Blessings.
Beautiful prayers, beautiful service.
Hi.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
What do you do? Yes, it is different from Germany. Hello.
Oh,
Deborah.
Deborah.
Hi,
Deborah.
Hey, how are you?
Beautiful.
Buddy.
Oh my God.
Welcome.
And Sherry, Mom, and Reggie. I saw that.
Hi, Lynn. Hi, Arlene.
The safe, wonderful. Yeah, I know Virgie. I
Trisha.
know.
Diane, how you doing, Diane?
Oh.